His preference!
His preference?
You're welcome!
Oh, his preference?
Boyfriend made reference during.
Sex?
Boyfriend made a reference during.
During.
4 words. Let's go.
Boyfriend made reference during.
And we know exactly what she's saying.
I, a 37-year-old woman, was having sex.
That'll do, donkey. That'll do. That'll do.
I, a 37-year-old woman, was having sex with my 39-year-old male fiance. I was on top doing my thing. He started laughing. I was confused and asked what was funny. He made a reference about me looking like the Penguin. I'm heavier and was wearing a white tank top. I was still confused. He then pulls up a picture of the Penguin from Batman with his disgusting face and white shirt moving in an obvious way that resembled me.
Scott, stop laughing.
Scott!
Stop laughing.
I'm not usually overly sensitive and can take a joke, but this made me angry, very angry. I already really struggle with self-worth, especially in the bedroom. It led to an all-day issue. He apologized, but it meant nothing to me. Am I overreacting?
Oh,
Dude,
no!
my man.
Oh, no.
No, we have the
Oh, I
meme.
bet we have the meme.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. We're about to overreact, I fear.
I'm about to lose my mind.
Overreact.
I'm about to rip
Bailey,
someone.
Bailey!
I'm about to rip a man I've never met and will never meet apart.
3, 2, 1. No! 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 That's so up. That is diabolical.
I hate him.
Can you imagine?
I want him to go away for a long time. Sorry.
I cannot believe this.
I actually think this will be the first Reddit story. I abstain.
Abstain?
I'll just sit here and listen to you guys talk about it.
He had the audacity to be, she's topping you. You're welcome. You're blessed. And you knew that.
We are blessed.
She is performing for you. And you go to that? Buddy, can your mind please iOS update your brain?
That guy in the middle of sex was like, what if I never have sex again? And then he made that choice.
To go from sex to meme, your brain's in a dark space.
That's the Dark
And
Knight
it
right
was
there.
during.
You either the hero or long enough to become the villain. Cut that.
I think no, keep it. Keep it.
No, say it again. Say
It's
it
really
again.
funny. No,
Stand up on your chair. Stand up on your chair.
I sat there cooking for a bit, okay? I was like, I need to come up with a Batman reference. I will say, I love this woman for, like, making this post.
Yeah,
Like,
get
you
her.
can tell, like she is, I do think she seems like she's very confident in herself.
she goes, internet, do your thing.
Yeah.
Internet, kill him. Here's his address.
Woman topping you in a white tank top, slay! And then you did that!
I think it's very clear, the fact that he's alive means she underreacted. Because
She's not writing this from prison.
she probably,
Yeah.
unless she was writing this from prison, it's like, hey.
They gotta clip this. We lost our minds.
We did. We truly did.
Fair. The verdict, not overreacting. Someone said, firstly, you're not wrong to feel how you feel. He hurt your feelings, period. There are a lot of factors that could play into how you proceed from here. Is this the first time he's commented on your weight in a negative way? Is he a joker that often tries to be funny even at the wrong times? Joker reference. Is he concerned about your health or just being rude? The best thing to do is tell him exactly how he hurt you, which it sounds like you already did. And now, take it easy and observe him closely these next few days or week. Is he still making side comments, or is he being careful around you and telling you he thinks you're beautiful, either by words or actions, since we all have our own love languages? If you watch someone long enough, they'll tell you exactly who they are, and spoiler alert, it doesn't take that long. Good luck, and no matter what, remember there's someone out there, might even be him, that wants them some you in a wholesome way. Opie responded, he generally doesn't make comments about my body, mostly because I think he's afraid to. But yes, he has in the past while having sex. Once he made a reference of me looking like a dinosaur because my hand was kind of up, and another that he wanted to push on my stomach and make me laugh like the Pillsbury Doughboy, all while on top. All while on top, his preference and
His preference!
His preference?
You're welcome!
Oh, his preference?
And usually I can just laugh stuff off, but this was too much. I should mention he's not some super skinny dude himself and can out-eat me. I'm top-heavy in the way that my breasts are really large.
Oh my God, he doesn't deserve this woman. Babe. I'm hot.
Move on to the next story. I hate this fucking asshole.
Oh no. Oh my God. He's thinking about literally anything else while she's having sex with him. And he gets to say in the position for him should be in a corner.
Someone said, this guy is 39?
Oh, I forgot his age! Oh my God.
Clear.
I'd expect this level of stupidity and lack of tact from a 19-year-old who's obsessed with memes, but a middle-aged guy who's engaged in an intimate moment with their partner, that's just really fucking dumb. I mean, I can definitely get lost in a thought sometimes or say something that might get taken out of context, but he straight up compared you to the penguin during sex. Is this way out of character for him? I'm getting the sense that he might be a bit narcissistic or just incredibly immature for his age. Lastly, someone said, I don't know if I would stick around, but if I did every time he tried rubbing up on me, I'd tell him to go with the penguin.
But you know what, actually, like, if you really break it down in that moment, she's saying he's too afraid to talk about her body, but except for in sex, he
Yeah, no, you're right.
Which is like, that's the last place that you should, like, that is the most intimate and last place that you should feel confident enough to say something like that to anyone.
And like just because we're doing this, let's give space to intrusive thoughts, I guess, right? When you're like, oh, this looks like that. Oh, I didn't mean to offend. But this is a reoccurring
But it's
offense.
specifically during sex, which also makes me fear that it's like, if it's like he enjoys humiliating her.
Yes, and he's also just like making fun of the size of her body.
Like, wow.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
And to go as so far as to show this meme and be like, and you know, in his mind, he's like, oh, this resembled it. Maybe it was like a tiny element of it, but she sees this whole picture and she's like, you think that's what I look like?
Yeah.
Like, he has no idea how that could impact another person. Like, that they got to figure that out. Like, ooh.
Yeah, that's awful. And like the fact that someone asked and she's like, yeah, he's done this a few times. I'm like, bro,
yeah, like,
don't marry this man.
and also his preference of her. Oh God,
I know,
he
it's
doesn't
all-
deserve that.
It's been red flag after red flag on this guy.
Visceral reaction. I'm sorry. It's just like, she sounds like a lovely woman.
She does.
Yeah.
Everyone is lovely except that guy.
Yeah, even the penguin. I'd rather hang out with the penguin than that guy.
Yeah. Next story.
So, no update.
No update on that guy.
I will say, if you're somehow watching this, you're a f***ing queen. And it's your preference if you want to top.
Yeah.
And I'll be there.
Hey, look, the next time you get on top and you're like, hey, this time I'm Harvey Dent. And then you flip a coin, you pull out a gun, and you're like, we're gonna do this. If you want this, we're gonna do this. Our next story, let's see if a prank happens here. This comes from Am I the Asshole? Am I the asshole for calling the police on my coworker over a prank? I, a 25-year-old woman, just started this new job as a front desk clerk at a hotel. I work the overnight shift. I usually have a coworker, a 30-year-old man, with me, but he never really talks to me. A few nights ago was my first night alone. At around 2 a.m., I noticed a person in the parking lot. You can see the parking lot from the front desk. The lighting in the lot is terrible, so you don't really see faces until they get close to the lobby door. The person was just standing there, not moving, for about 5 to 10 minutes. I thought this was strange, and of course it creeped me out. After about 10 minutes of them standing there, they moved. I guess to call the front desk because he moved his hand to his ear and the phone rang. I picked up, and on the other end I just heard, 5 buried, none found, in a low voice, and then they hung up. At this point, I was terrified, so I ran to 911.
Oh my God.
I explained to the operator about what had been going on, and they sent a couple cops to the hotel. When they arrived, one cop was talking to the person outside, and the other one was at the front desk talking to me, telling me that the person outside was claiming that he also worked here. I was confused, but I also admitted I hadn't seen the person's face, just the silhouette. At this point, the other officer and the person from the lot come in, and it turns out to be my coworker, and he was upset, saying he would have never pranked me if he knew I was going to call the police and try to get him arrested. I didn't go through with pressing charges, but I did tell my manager what happened the next morning. It's been a few days now, and I guess he had told other coworkers what happened, and now no one is really speaking to me and giving me a bit of an attitude. I feel like I took it a bit too far with calling the police. Am I the asshole?
Whoa.
What?
That's insane.
This person who you've not talked to, you're gonna call them and say some weird, cryptid, freaky ass shit.
While they're on the job doing what they should do. Does that make sense? Like, it's actually wild to make this person feel like they did the wrong thing by calling the cops. When I
Right.
think if you're doing overnights at a hotel, you should report sketchy behavior.
Yes, because it's an entire premises of innocent people, and a phone call just came in alluding to serial murder.
Like, it would be bad if you didn't make that call. And now you're like, I shouldn't have made that call because it was a joke?
What did he think would happen? She'd go like this.
Yeah.
And just like run around.
And like her shirt falls off and it's a
Yeah.
fun movie?
That's also
Her
like
shirt falls off.
5 buried, none found is like an extremely weird thing to say. Like that goes beyond. I'm kind of shocked that once the coworker came in, she's like, "Oh, it's just my coworker." Once he came in, I'd be like, "Yeah, he's the killer."
My
Like,
coworker
oh my
is
god, I
Ted
think
Bundy.
I wouldn't be chill yet. Yeah.
What
Ted
the-
Bundy style.
It's
yeah.
giving
hell?
like another non-prank. It's like, I think pranks are similar to what you said about jokes, where like, it's like non-funny people say mean things when they're trying to be funny because it's easier to be mean than to be funny.
Right.
True.
And it's showing this, where it's like with roasts, you could tell when someone's like really good at them because it's like a well-written joke versus just a roast that's mean.
Yeah.
And like this prank is not well thought out because it's just mean. Like what you're creating to happen is just panic and fear, and that none of those are funny.
Verdict, not the asshole. Comments. Not the asshole. Your coworker was trying to scare you on purpose, and now he's angry that you did what any reasonable person would have done under the circumstances. OP responded saying, "Yeah, my boyfriend thinks that my coworker was trying to scare me so I would quit my job, and because it backfired, everyone is annoyed with me. Haha."
What?
Someone else said, "Not the asshole. If I were you, I'd follow up with HR and make a formal complaint. It's hardly appropriate for a grown man to harass a younger woman who is alone at night, no less, and terrify her for his own enjoyment. Pranks are supposed to be funny, yeah?"
Yeah, I was just gonna say, additionally, to then go tell the rest of the staff that she was the asshole in the situation and now has impacted her work relationships with everyone there. Like I think that's also, it's like retaliatory. So I think she absolutely should go to HR.
I wonder what story he spun, because if someone was like, "Yeah, so I went out to the parking lot so that I looked really creepy, and then I called her and I said 5 buried, none found." And I'd be like, "Hey man, I gotta be honest with you. I don't know if I'm with you on this
I'm
one."
sad. I'm like, how does no one see through this?
Us at the bar just being like, "Oh, dude," and she didn't think that was hilarious, bro. Women, I don't understand them.
So yeah, I took a couple laps around the parking lot, made her look super sketchy.
Yeah, I stood out there under the lamplight so that she could only see my silhouette.
Oh my
and couldn't
God,
make out
I
my
was
face.
laughing so hard. She would have been. You guys
was
would have
really
been dying.
great.
I was like farting like a loser, and I'm walking around. and then,
Farting like a loser. Okay, so
Yeah.
hold on. She says, "A few nights ago was my first night alone. At around 2 a.m., I noticed a person in the parking lot." That means he was off work.
He called off work to do this.
He went to work when he was off work just to scare her. Can you
At 2
imagine?
in the morning?
Could you imagine? Like, there's no prank in the world where I would show up to work on my day off.
and scare a woman in the middle of the night. Oh, a woman in a vulnerable position trying to guard the whole hotel of sleeping people.
Yeah, real.
So funny. That dude needs a fucking personality.
He was like, dude, it was peak comedy what I did.
Dude, I really hope she understands the fact that I have a crush on her. No. It's giving that. I'm like, enjoy your night off. Go play video games.
Last comment. agree with everyone here so far, not the asshole. First of all, it's his night off and this is his activity of choice.
Yes.
Take up knitting or something, bro. Not menacing women in the middle of the night then being pissed about the consequences. What if a guest at the hotel had seen this? It doesn't matter if you did or didn't see his face. You did what you should have done in this situation, especially with the phone call. That's menacing, mean, and messed up. I've stayed at many hotels alone on work travels, and one time, late at night, I was on my balcony which faced a parking garage, and I noticed these two guys taking photos of me. I asked them to stop, they didn't. So I called the front desk, and the gentleman working that night took care of it by calling the cops and also standing outside facing the garage in the meantime. I was so appreciative, even though I felt bad about the cops coming, which I shouldn't have, and neither should you. My point is, as the front desk clerk, you're responsible for guest safety, but you can't take care of your guests if your own safety is in jeopardy, and regardless of whether or not you have in-house security, you did the right thing. He's an idiot and an asshole, and so is anyone you work with who thinks you were in the wrong. Again, as a guest, I'd hope that the people I call for help would do exactly what you did. If there's no harm, then there's no foul, but better to be safe than sorry. I fear what your coworkers would have done in the situation I was in.
Yeah, that's true.
You were saying when people don't know how to be funny, they just go for mean. It's also like, she said he never really talks to me. This is a guy who clearly does not know how to interact with women. So this is his only instinct. He's like, I don't know how to say hi to her, so I'm just gonna freak her the f*** out.
I actually fear he's into her.
That's what I'm saying.
This is some weird
like you're in elementary school and all you know is how to scare someone.
like, whoa, bud, wrong door to enter in. I don't know what you think you're doing. Especially what really irks me now, ever since we went back to it being her first night alone, really makes me mad because that's so scary.
Yeah, it's real. I've seen stories of women who are like, I have to work the middle of the night shift at the gas station I'm at. My boyfriend is literally so nice to hang out in the parking lot while I do my shift, because you got to just be aware of the world right now, and that's
yes, you're 100%
that is
right.
a situation that he should be more aware of.
Right. Oh.
Icky.
All right, another not prank.
Yeah.
Crime?
Yeah. Another prank. Another someone's rights being violated, but with a silly prank hat on.
I actually think I'm glad she called the cops because I'm nervous about this guy.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, who knows what he was doing. He did show up to work on your night alone when he wasn't supposed to be at work.
Yeah.
That is odd behavior. I'm scared of this guy. If I were her friend, I'd be like, you should quit that job because I don't trust this guy.
Yeah, I don't trust him. It's like how going to small claims court felt dramatic to the person, but it isn't.
No,
it's just using that person's actions and holding them accountable to their actions. Where it's oh, you messed up with you hurt me. I'm gonna do this about it.
Yeah.
Oh, you scared me. I'm gonna call the cops.
Yeah. No, it goes back to what we were saying of he did technically harass her. It's not a prank. You can't just say it's a prank and that didn't happen.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you were in the parking lot being creepy, calling her, saying some weird shit about bodies. That is all just factual. You were doing that.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter what the intent was because you did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and my paranoid ass can't go, I can't help but think, if he's willing to say some weird shit like that, who knows what he said to the rest of the staff?
Yeah.
He actually was trying to begin his serial killer era, and then she just ruined it.
What do you mean 5 buried, none found?
Bodies.
I know, no, I get it, but none found.
It's just weird.
The bodies disappeared?
He's saying no one knows.
I buried 5 and none of them were
5 buried
found.
and none were found.
I don't know. I'm not going to try to
should
figure
give
this
him
guy
notes.
out.
Yeah, honestly, we could do some punch-ups.
Yeah. Boyfriend's mom called my blind brother, a 25-year-old male, excess baggage. I, a 28-year-old woman, called her a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. My brother is blind, has been since birth, and he lives with me. Not that he needs someone to take care of him, just living with me makes his life much easier, and I like it this way. He is pretty independent and has a great job and great future. I'm proud of him big time. Last month, we went to visit our parents back in our home country. We live in Europe, but we are from East Asia. My boyfriend is from here. So on the way back, my parents filled our luggages with stuff, gifts, food, etc. At the airport, we had to pay some excess baggage charges. Last night, I was at my boyfriend's parents, and I was chatting with his parents and sister. Boyfriend wasn't in the room when these all happened, so he didn't see anything firsthand. They asked about my trip and all, and I said it was all good except that we had to pay a lot for excess baggage, which was unexpected. She started laughing, which made everyone wonder. My boyfriend's dad asked what's so funny. She said that she just can't stop appreciating the irony that excess baggage had to pay for excess baggage. I didn't get it at first. Nobody did. But she clarified that your brother is like an excess baggage on you. You took him on a trip and had to pay excess baggage on the excess baggage as well. It's like double dipping, just the other way around. I wanted to punch her in the face, but restrained myself, just told her that she's a piece of shit, apologized to the sister and dad, and came out. Texted my boyfriend that I had to leave and we'll talk tomorrow. He came out and we talked a bit about what happened. He offered to go back in there and try to sort things out, but I refused. I told him that he's heard my side, so go in there and hear them out as well, and we'll talk about it again tomorrow. We haven't talked since, but we will tonight. Knowing him, I guess he will suggest some way to sort things out and make peace, but I don't think I'd want to, even if she agrees to apologize.
What?
Oh my God.
What was that comment? Like, it wasn't even like that.
It's furthermore
good.
to like say something so awful, and then when someone's like, what'd you just say? To be like, oh, so what I was doing was insulting your blind brother.
Yeah, just doubling down. Let me explain.
I was referring to him kind of like luggage, you
Yeah.
know? Like
Excess baggage.
like not a human.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, pass the potatoes. What are we doing here,
Dude,
lady?
oh my God. Oh, God.
Did she have a couple glasses of wine? Like, what's happening here?
I like genuinely don't even know what to say to that. To like refer to someone, like to the person, like this is your brother that I'm talking about, and I'm saying these awful things. And you're like, wait, I don't think I get what you're saying. You're like, no, I'm saying like I'm insulting him very deeply. Like this is awful.
Yeah, like, dude, read the room. Like, I can't imagine saying a joke of that nature, but it's like saying a joke and you go, oh, you get that response. You go, I'm sorry, I don't know why I said that. I don't know why I said that. But like, not even that. She's like, oh, let me keep going.
Clearly, the mom has wanted to say something for so long. She's probably in bed with her husband. She's like, I'm going to say something about this brother, which is like insane. And then she says it in the weirdest way possible.
And she clearly says it in a way where she's like, this is like a deep down belief.
Exactly.
And we all agree on this, right? That your brother is just excess baggage. Like, it's not.
Do you think the son talks about it with them?
I guess we don't technically know. I'm not
I
getting
don't
that
think
from
so,
this.
but like, I wonder if he was surprised, because if he's already going to like, let's work this out mode.
But yeah, the work this out mode, it's like, he's saying we could go back in there, somebody to sort things out. See, if I'm the boyfriend, it's like, no, you go in there by yourself and you confront your mom, and because that is on another level, and she shouldn't have to go in there and face that.
Yeah.
I would have a hard time believing that the mom just suddenly said something so awful. You know,
That's why I'm wondering if
that is so awful, right?
Yeah.
Like,
was the boyfriend surprised? Like, I'm wondering.
he's not sounding like horrified by this.
Also, if she immediately said you're a piece of shit, I feel like if this was so out of pocket for the mom to say, if I was in her position, I'd be so stunned.
You're right.
I would be like,
Because
I wouldn't know what to say because it's shocking.
when someone says something out of character,
Yeah.
you don't respond
No.
in
Yeah.
a way, because you're kind of like, wait, you're trying to like compartmentalize or figure out
Yeah.
and make it all make sense. But the fact that she did respond so quickly saying you're a piece of shit means it's like,
Yeah.
What has she said in the past?
yeah.
It seems like a case of like the family just being like, that's just mom, you know, that's just mom out
Cheryl.
of pocket. Like, oh, there she goes again.
God.
Comments, I wouldn't say you did anything wrong. She should apologize. He's a fucking human being. Someone said you didn't do anything wrong except lose your cool, but I think most of us would agree that's acceptable under the circumstances. Hopefully your boyfriend will handle the situation with her appropriately. OP left a comment saying she just posted a Facebook status update saying, my son's girlfriend called me a piece of shit because she disagreed with how I described what happened on a trip.
Facebook status?
That's
All right.
We're dealing with a
That's
different beast
awful
here.
behavior.
Yeah.
This is different.
Dude, going on Facebook to rip your son's girlfriend after calling her brother excess baggage because he's blind is crazy levels of delusion.
Yeah, Facebook status this is a different beast. We have to approach this from a different place.
Yeah. we're dealing with a kaiju here.
Oh no.
Okay, update.
Oh, let's go.
The next day, I foresee we're about to see even the greater depths of hell from this lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't think we've even scratched the surface on how awful she
Someone's gonna make a Facebook group and it's gonna be bad.
God. Okay, this is the next day. She posts this the next day. Okay, this isn't good. I didn't realize it's a full moon. She's gone full beast.
Oh my God.
In case you missed it, yesterday she posted a message on Facebook explaining an edit in yesterday's post. So I talked to my boyfriend last night. He acted as I suspected he would. He suggested that it was a moment of madness. She started it and I responded. We're both at, okay, hold on. He acted as I suspected he would. He suggested that it was a moment of madness. She started it and I responded. We're both at fault and we can both apologize and move on from this.
That's such a funny way to put it.
Oh.
It was just a moment of madness.
The moon is out. Her
She
claws.
went mad.
Oh my God.
This is bad.
Yeah, you know, she doesn't think blind people are people, and you called her a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So hard to gauge there.
Come on, be people, guys.
Sorry, no way after her post on Facebook. We had a long discussion. He doesn't want to take a side. All of these are besides the fact that she doesn't even want to apologize. I'm very disappointed in him. His dad called me yesterday as well, apologized for the mom's comment, and said that she wasn't speaking on behalf of everyone there, and that they found her comments to be very inconsiderate as well. I also apologized to the dad for the way I reacted, but he said it wasn't necessary. His sister called as well. She said it's not the first time she's making comments like that about disabled people, and she said she's ashamed. I decided not to engage in a social media piss war and stayed out. But while the mom's friends were commenting like, the young don't know how to respect these days, the sister commented that, Mom, you left out what you said to her first, kind of proving her point. Please put this down and stop. A few hours later, the post was gone.
W sister, W dad, why did the boyfriend kind of sucks here?
Boyfriend kinda sucks.
Boyfriend let her down hard.
Yeah.
Saying you're both at fault. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God, dude.
The boyfriend is enabling the mom, and the fact that the dad and the sister had to like support the girlfriend and the boyfriend's not.
Dude. And that comment is unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
And it was a comment, it was like, oh, she said something, you responded. It's like, your mom said something, and then doubled down and explained what she meant by it.
Yeah.
Like, this was not a moment of whatever. This was a fully thought out thing.
Yeah.
The sister's now agreeing, like, oh, she's horribly ableist and says horrible shit all the time.
It's awful.
Hi, I'm Alicia. I absolutely love being a mom, and there's nothing I love more than creating new memories.
So yeah, I'm disappointed in my boyfriend. If he had the balls of his sister, he'd been great, but sadly he doesn't. His dad and sister stood up to the mom and he didn't. I never make a decision impulsively, so I didn't break up with him, although I'm leaning towards that decision. I just need to think, and any advice to this is also very welcome.
Yeah, I mean,
Say
that's
goodbye.
Yeah, you gotta.
very
You live with your
telling.
brother. You love your brother. It's going well. It's incredible that they have that relationship, regardless if he's blind or not. Like, it's amazing that you have that close relationship. The mom is never going to change.
No.
And it sounds like the boyfriend isn't going to stick up for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, the boyfriend has to know her brother.
The brother lives. Yeah, the brother lives there with
his
OP.
sister.
So like, yeah, they hang out all the time.
Yeah.
And
and
it's
for
so
him to-
disrespectful to the brother.
Holy crap,
Yeah.
bro.
To like know the brother, like probably like very intimate, like know him really well, and then be like, I mean, you both are kind of at fault here. Like, that's
No.
insane.
Dude, wow.
She's attacking him for something that is not in his control whatsoever.
Calling her a piece of shit is like kind of going light on her
I
too.
agree.
It's like, dude, when someone says something of that nature.
Yeah.
Okay, some comments. OP, in response to another comment, said he always believes in keeping the peace between people and finding compromises to work things out no matter what. Sometimes, though, keeping the peace is just siding with the bad
That's
person.
a nice way of saying he's a pushover.
He doesn't do anything, yeah.
Yeah.
Someone responded, in that case, I think you explained to him in no uncertain terms how much his mother hurt you and how much he hurt you by not sticking up for you.
Yeah.
Let him know that when he said nothing, it was as good as agreeing with her. Maybe, just maybe, he'll see where he's gone wrong and change, but if not, I guess you have your answer. His reaction to this doesn't seem so much about keeping the peace as being scared to stand up to someone. There's a big difference between those two things. Keeping the peace would have been, Mom, come on, that's out of line and you know it. Apologize so we can all get past this. Not silence. Whew.
Such a bummer.
Yeah. I mean, even with the mom apologizing, it sounded like OP was still ready to be like, I don't know if I want to like make peace here, like even if she does apologize. So like, yeah, the fact that he was like, well, maybe you should just both say sorry.
I think at this point, though, I wouldn't believe any apology from the mom.
I agree.
The mom
Yeah,
is not
100%.
sorry at
What
all.
she said is deeply offensive.
Yeah, she went to Facebook afterwards. So that's the nail.
Once you go to Facebook,
Once you go to Facebook, it's done.
It is done.
You're telling me you post on Facebook all the time and you're ableist? What a strange.
that's so bizarre.
In other news, water is wet.
Am I the asshole for accidentally losing my mother-in-law's ashes?
Oh no. In-law.
Was she
Not
chill?
the in-law. Was she chill? No, she was burned.
This is a 26-year-old man. I and my wife, who's 25, have been married for 4 years and together for 6.
Bro.
We met in college and
Sorry,
shortly...
they got married real young.
Yeah.
How old were they?
He was 22, she was 21.
Oh.
And they've been together for years before that. We met in college, and shortly after we graduated, I proposed. We've never fought and have always stayed loyal and faithful. When she was 16, her mother died in a fatal accident. I won't go into detail, but after a fight between her mother and her father, her mom stormed out and was hit while crossing the street by a drunk driver. I've always understood how devastating her mother's loss has been and always was there for her on her mother's passing anniversary and Mother's Day. Lately, we've been thinking about having kids, so we moved from our small apartment in New York to a nice home in New Jersey. The move was stressful for both of us, and we wanted to make sure we didn't forget anything. Once we finished packing, she asked me to do one last scan through her apartment and to grab her mother's ashes, which were in a vase. She was going to drive to the house with all our stuff, and I'd carefully bring the vase to make sure it wasn't damaged in all the other boxes. I said goodbye to the house and put the vase in my front seat and started driving. I was driving to the house when some jerk cut me off, making me slam the brakes. The vase had a ceramic lid and was suctioned on loosely. When I slammed the brakes, the vase tumbled from the front seat and the lid came off. I pulled to the side of the road to try and scoop it back in, but it was no use. I ended up pulling up to a car wash where you could vacuum and clean your car.
You're a criminal.
I vacuumed up any trace of the ashes and made my car look good as new. For the new ashes, I went to pick up dirt and sand off the side of the road and had filled up the vase halfway. Everything worked out great. I made it to the house. I used the excuse that there was heavy traffic on the highway, and that's why I was late. Everything was all good until she lifted the vase. She said it felt heavier than before. I told her maybe she just thought it was lighter, but when she opened the vase, when she opened the vase, she noticed a slight difference in the color. Instead of a light gray, it was tan and brown with little pebbles.
Am I the pebble?
Am I the pebble? We were making that joke before we
Or
started.
am I the pebble?
And she's like, what are those? She's like, those must have been inside of her.
Dude, those are bones.
Those are bones, dude. Wow, your mom had round bones.
Dude, Emily, I'm sorry. You picked the wrong people to...
Emily really made sure that we were okay with this, and now here we
dude.
are. She immediately asked what happened. I told her the story, and she was fuming.
Dude, he caved so fast.
She couldn't believe I sucked her mom up into a vacuum and replaced her
You
with
sucked
dirt.
my mom up?
You sucked my mom?
Stop.
She couldn't believe I sucked her mom up into a vacuum and replaced her with dirt. She threatened to kick me out, saying if I didn't leave, she would. She just left to go for a walk, and I think she blew things out of proportion. I kept calling her, and when she finally answered, I told her she acted like I killed her.
Oh!
She hung up, and I haven't heard or seen from her in 2 hours. Am I the asshole, or is she just taking this way too far? Okay, number one, I've started to come to the opinion that if people are posting a Reddit story mere hours after a fight, I think you're an
Unwell.
asshole. I think you're an asshole even if you're in the right in the fight to just
I
immediately
think
go
there's
to
something
Reddit.
deeply wrong with you.
That's weird. Comments here. Let me think really hard for a moment. Yes, you're the asshole. Someone said, you're the asshole. You admit you didn't secure the urn properly, tried to hide the evidence, and yet you still think she's the issue? Assuming this is a real post, I suspect you'll be heading for divorce court soon. You seriously can't be dense enough to wonder why she's mad at you. OP responded, she never told me to secure the urn, and I didn't want to do anything to mess with it or the ashes. But when it fell, I felt I had to do something to get my sled out of the trouble. Okay, that's weaponized incompetence there. She didn't tell me to secure the urn.
Yeah, that's so
It's like,
messed up.
What?
I'm imagining he sees all the ashes there and he pulls over, he's like, oh, what do I do? Then he looks over and he sees like a copy of Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, and he gets the vacuum and it's like,
Oh my God.
All he had to do is as soon as it happens, he needs to call her and be like, I am so sorry. I just had to slam my brakes because someone cut me off and the ashes are now in the seat of my car. Let's figure out how to get them. They're there. The ashes are in your car. Yes, they're spilled out. There's got to be a better way to go about this. But you vacuumed it up, which is getting rid of it.
Yeah, I think what I've seen people do, and it's obviously not like a foolproof thing, but it's like you buy a new little handy vac, a new one.
Yeah.
And then you get as much of the remains as you can. Obviously, it's not going to be 100%
And then you
of the
empty that
remains.
into the vase.
You put it
Yeah.
back. But the fact that he immediately, it was like he's done this before. Like he
know.
so quickly was like, I went to clean my car out and I grabbed some debris from the side of the road. Like zero remorse.
he dug his own grave.
He dug
with
his own
this.
grave.
He, in that situation, he cared more about his car because he's even like, yeah, my car was good
Yeah,
as
my
new.
car was.
My car was
My
good
car
as new.
looked awesome.
But this person, nah.
This is. Can I say this is like Meet the Parents on several
I
levels?
was
Yes.
thinking
Because
this
they
is-
break the urn, but also when the cat runs away and he brings back the other cat.
Yeah.
They couldn't tape it down.
This was some Ben Stiller shenanigans.
They could have literally taped it down. One piece of tape, a little tape down tape. Tape.
I didn't know people actually kept ashes in like open urns. Or
It's not
vase-
open. It's like it's
Got a
an
lid.
urn.
Oh, I guess so.
And
The
they
whole
don't-
thing shattered.
It's not like a. It's not
I
like
think
a
the
twist
lid
on.
the lid came off. It fell and the lid fell off. So I'm like, there's still stuff there. One last comment. Lol, absolutely no way is this real. Vacuuming up her dead mother's remains. I'm not sure you get to see heaven after that. OP responded, I was extremely nervous and stressed. It was the first thing I could think of. Now that I'm thinking about it, it wasn't the smartest thing I could do. Thanks for the feedback. 139 downvotes. Yeah, dude, come on.
Buddy. And then what really sucks is that stuff happened. Sucks is the vacuum. What after it happened, his reaction to her feelings.
Oh,
she
my
had
God.
every right to have an absolute tantrum. She could have freaking busted a window. But him being like, you're acting like I killed her. Like, just say you're fucking sorry. Say you're so fucking sorry.
The beginning of it to me is just like when you to understand the weight of something to someone, like that is if anyone, if a stranger came up to me and was like, hey, these are some ashes, I need you to transport them. I wouldn't just like plop it in a seat and buckle it up. Like I would probably put that in a box and seal that. So I'm like, I need to know nothing can happen to this shit because like that's so much responsibility. He
or
treated
just
it like it
ask
was
them
water.
like, hey, how do you think I should transport
Yeah.
this? Maybe.
Communicate it. You didn't tell me to secure it.
Yeah, no, that's
Oh, you didn't tell me you didn't want me to vacuum it up.
that totally is weaponized incompetence by making it her responsibility when him, an
Yeah.
adult who was given one job.
And then adding the dirt is crazy.
No, that's some
dirt with pebbles in it.
That's some Mr. Bean shit.
It really was a Mr. Bean level of like stupid. It was-
This feels heavier. No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. Oh, what's worse, adding the dirt or showing up with the urn half full? Adding the dirt is so much
Adding
worse.
the dirt.
Adding the dirt.
That
is
is
the
you're adding a
most-
lie, and
Yeah.
it's so disrespectful because that's in its own little way. You're equating your mother-in-law's ashes to dirt, to just dirt.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, well, it's kind of the same.
Yeah, you do.
Kind of.
When it comes to like human remains, there is like a very intensely special level of respect that you pay to that, and I'm sure that the reaction would have been, there still would have been some pain from his girlfriend, but like, or from his wife, but to add dirt into it. Like, at least she could have still just had her mom still.
Yeah.
Not as much. Now
I'm
he's-
an earn half full kind of guy.
Wow. I think it was a nail in the coffin for how he reacted and made it her fault somehow. When that was you had one job. If I was ever asked to do something like that, I would frickin' 10 pieces of tape, trash bag wrapped around, taped around the trash bag.
Walk it
This
there.
is
Put stuffed animals around it.
This is an am I the ex situation. This
Yeah.
person is broken up with and he doesn't realize it. My best friend, who's 23, a 23-year-old woman, did something horrible at a mutual family friend's wedding and blamed it on my younger sister, who's 19. I am considering cutting ties with her, but am having a hard time. Okay.
Let's go. Meaty one.
Hi, Reddit. This is a bit of an unusual situation, but I'll try to explain it as best I can. The story involves myself, 24-year-old woman, my best friend Caroline, 23-year-old woman, and my younger sister Nicola, 19-year-old woman, and our mutual friend / groomsman Daniel, who's 28. Using real names because I know Caroline doesn't use Reddit, and if anyone who witnessed this happens to see this, I'd love for them to get the actual facts of the story.
Whoa.
So over the weekend, a very good family friend of both my family and Caroline's family was getting married. Caroline and I have been best friends for years. We met when we were toddlers. Our moms are best friends. Our sisters are friends, etc. You get the picture. We knew that both of our families would be invited to this wedding, and we were both looking forward to it for months. It's important to note that Caroline's family and my family have a ton of mutual friends, and this was going to be a very large wedding. Guest count was in the 500s.
Why would you do that?
That's a carnival, not a wedding.
Carnival.
That's the Super Bowl!
Oh my God.
Everything was going fine and dandy until Caroline got completely wasted. She kept talking to me about how hot one of the groomsmen, Daniel, was and how she'd had a crush on him for years, but he showed no interest. This was probably because he was in a serious relationship and had been dating his current girlfriend for 6 years.
Sorry. Sometimes I can't help but go,
The girlfriend decided not to attend this wedding because she didn't know the bride and groom very well, and because Daniel would be a groomsman, she wouldn't see him very much anyway. Fast forward a couple hours, and Caroline is hanging all over Daniel. She's constantly asking him to dance with her, get her drinks from the open bar, etc. She's point blank throwing herself at him, and it was embarrassing and painful to watch. I tried intervening a couple of times to get her off of him, but she snapped at me, and at that point, I decided that it wasn't my problem. Furthermore, Daniel wasn't completely pushing her away. He looked like he had a few drinks in him as well and seemed somewhat interested in Caroline. I decided that if he didn't care, I certainly wasn't going to. If he wanted to throw his relationship away, it was none of my concern. I tried. I didn't witness this next part, but by the end of the night, Caroline and Daniel were having sex in a different room of the hall. Yes, it escalated quickly. To their misfortune, someone, I'm not sure who, just that it was someone's mom who knew Daniel and his girlfriend, but didn't know Caroline, walked in on them, and for some reason, Caroline told this woman that she was Nicola, my sister. I don't know if she was embarrassed or drunk or what, but she purposely identified herself as Nicola so Caroline herself would not be in trouble. Word quickly spread that Daniel and Nicola were caught having sex, and Nicola was mortified. People were talking about how disrespectful, home-wrecking, rude, slutty Nicola was. I honestly can't even blame them. Had I not known better, I would be thinking the same things. On top of that, Caroline had gone around actually telling other people that it was Nicola and confirming the rumor she started. The bride and groom were pissed. Everyone was talking badly about my sister, and Caroline seemed to not care. In fact, when I confronted her about the situation at the wedding, she straight up denied it. Had Daniel not confirmed that it was Caroline he was hooking up with and not Nicola, I might have even believed her. The next day, Caroline texted Nicola a half-hearted apology about the whole thing, saying she was so drunk and didn't know what she was doing. The text included lots of lols and ha-has, so I'm not sure how seriously Caroline is taking the situation. She doesn't seem to realize how mortified Nicola is. Nicola genuinely thinks that her life is ruined. We live in a very tight-knit community, and a lot of people have heard the false version of what went down. I'm at odds with what to do. Up until this point, Caroline has been a very good friend to both I and Nicola. I'm just not sure if I can forgive her for this, especially considering her lack of consciousness about how bad the situation really is. Should I dump her or should I give her another chance? Our friendship will be different regardless. My family sees Caroline in a completely different light now. So even if I forgave her, we wouldn't be able to do a lot of the same things we used to. Hang out at my house, do things with my family, etc. What should I do, Reddit? Reddit, I need your help.
That is so messed up. Because you know what she did? She blamed it on Nicola. Nicola is 19. Mr. Daniel, whatever, is 28. That's a gap. And also, like, and throwing her into that situation and all of these people ganging up on her being a homewrecker. She's 19.
Bro, it's so hard to be under 21 at a wedding that full
Already.
of adults and to have that thrown at you. This was like some Shakespearean type of shit.
Literally.
Like literally you're having sex, someone catches you and you go, it was Nicola! And then and everyone's like, oh.
God.
Just the way that everyone just believed it.
Yeah.
I mean,
suddenly.
there's no reason not to believe what you're being told, right?
But also believed it, and then it just seemed like everything was just on Nicola and not on the 28-year-old guy who's in a 6-year relationship.
And that's on the system.
It should be.
Let's
hit that.
And that's
you should be part of that story.
Yeah, that's the system, baby. That's the system. Be nicer to women.
Don't be her friend.
Don't be her friend.
Don't be her friend. That's fucking crazy.
To throw Nicola under the bus, like, that's so mean.
That puts her in a really dangerous position. Like, that was really dangerous. That was really unfair. That this is going to have long-lasting effects. And the fact that her apology was included, like, lols and ha-has.
She's like, I was so drunk.
No, that's you're calling up every single person at that wedding and telling them.
We're gonna get your ass.
The Ghostbuster comes in.
Ghostbusting your ass, bitch.
If you blame it on being drunk, and then you're like, you woke up the next day and you're like, what did I do? Like, resolve the problem.
Yeah.
Like,
Tell everyone, no, it was me.
Fix this shit.
You ruined a lot of shit.
It's wild she got away with it, too.
I
Because
know.
a person caught them
Right.
and saw them.
Right.
And then somehow this rumor fully succeeded. And she was running around saying it.
Well, it's 500 people. It's
500
impossible to keep
that's
anything.
right.
500 people drinking. I'm sure there was a carnival about, maybe a Ferris wheel.
Elephant?
Hard to keep
I forgot there was
rumors.
5,000 people at this wedding.
Yeah,
Right.
so rumors
The
fly.
percentage of possibility of something crazy like that.
Yeah, we could have an atonement situation going on here.
I don't know what that means.
Atonement, it's a book and a movie that's really good.
A book in a movie?
But it's an accusation book. A lie, a false accusation
A book in a movie.
that has tragic consequences.
A book in a movie.